Many people believe that when they leave a place, it becomes obsolete. The walls cry with thin memories of paintings they used to hold. The lonely floors long for human feet, and the windows forever look out for the next person to gaze through them. But these seemingly dead structures hold secrets in their decaying walls. For they are not dead, but very much alive. Because even though they transform over time, they still remain as a testament to what they once were. As buildings slowly fall apart, new life creeps back in. They live on because of the fascination humans have with history, the new ecosystems that form, and the inspiration that comes with desolation. Something about an empty, creaking hall, an enormous room abandoned, or the dark shadows of a mysterious dwelling that summons curiosity. What went on here? It almost feels as if the structures silently yearn to show their past. The Georgia State Lunatic, Idiot, and Epileptic Asylum was founded in Milledgeville, Georgia in 1842. Then, it had only one building for both men and women patients. By 1872, the hospital had a ratio of 112 patients per physician, and over time expanded into numerous buildings, segregating groups all over campus. The facility also started to house those that pleaded insanity during court and were deemed criminally insane. Insulin shock and electric shock therapy became popular to keep the patients under control. In the 1960s, the asylum changed its name to Central State Hospital. At that time, Central State Hospital was the largest mental hospital in the United States. An estimated 20,000 to 30,000 patients died at Central State. Part of the hospital grounds still stand after serving 170 years. Abandoned structures tell complete storylines, and Central State's story ended with a dark twist. Knowing the history and secrets of a building connects man to man-made structure. This connection brings a forgotten building back to life. Moving along the empty walkway under the washed-out tones of the great Ferris wheel and seeing the bumper cars waiting endlessly for passengers, it may be easy to hear the sound of children chuckling, musical melodies, caretakers calling, or rides rattling. But at this place of fun, there are no lines, no waiting for a turn, nobody at all. Nothing zooms on the great roller coasters or whirls around on the Dizzy Lizzie anymore. This abandoned park remains as a voice of the aftermath of a natural tragedy.
You are so lucky, living so close to Jazzland, America's newest major theme park in New Orleans. You can go to Jazzland all you want.
Jazzland, located in New Orleans, Louisiana, opened in 2000. A massive wooden roller coaster called the Megazip was the main attraction. It was a monument to man's strength, built on a steel frame, made to last hurricane-force winds. In 2003, Six Flags bought Jazzland and renamed it Six Flags New Orleans. 2 years after reopening, Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans with devastating force. Six Flags New Orleans held water halfway up several roller coasters. After the water washed away, rebuilding the city's foundation was top priority, and the park never reopened. The people of historic New Orleans were in a state of limbo and saw the Six Flags as a prime example of the frivolity that was lost in this devastating disaster. People began to see this once whimsical park as a place to express their feelings of desolation and hope. Over time, the park became a symbol of regrowth out of dying establishments. The park is adorned with art that tells the story of travelers and adventurers alike. The steel frames of the rides still stand to inspire urban explorers to dare and persevere. Heritage USA, founded in Fort Mill, South Carolina in 1978 by Jim and Tammy Faye Baker. The 2,300-acre Christian theme park was one of the most visited theme parks in the mid to late 80s. Among the attractions housed here was the King's Castle, a bright green and purple-colored castle, which housed an arcade with a go-kart track running around its outskirts. The park also had timeshare apartments and condos, an outdoor amphitheater, a water park, and a railroad. In the midst of Heritage USA's high point, when it earned $162 million per year, the IRS revoked its religious tax write-off. Then founder Jim Baker was indicted on federal charges. The theme park of Dreams and Jesus filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy with debts estimated at $72 million. The park closed. Once part of a world of laughter, reflection, and fun, the Jerusalem Amphitheater, the King Castle Funhouse, the water park, the train station, fishing headquarters, and Reflection Pond were rendered unprofitable and were abandoned by man. When man leaves a place for dead, life begins to sprout. Out of the rubble and quiet buildings, a new ecosystem begins to emerge with great promise. Life springs from every pore. Man easily believes the only elements transforming on this planet are the things he can see and record. But change happens to a place behind closed doors, far beyond the moment the lights are turned off and the people leave for good. A new order takes over. This is the order of the Overgrown Kingdom.